Hi guys, as promised, today I will be talking about 7 new Khadlaj perfume releases that I got from Beauty World Middle East. All of these fragrances are gifted to me by the brand. I have tested them already on skin and on clothes. So basically today I am ready to give you my final thoughts. All of these perfumes are now available in their website, and I'm gonna link them all in the description box below in case you would love to purchase any of these fragrances. I'm gonna start off with a banger, and this is a fragrance that really surprised me. And this is called Ria. I actually love this bottle. I think it looks pretty. Now, let's talk about the scent. As mentioned, it's a banger. So that means I love this fragrance. Actually, this is my scent of the day. Let me just top up. Guys, I was quite shocked because this is a sweet, sugary, fruity scent. And normally, I'm not interested in this kind of scents, but Ria has my heart. There is something very uplifting about it. You know, there are some fruity scents out there that makes me think straight away like juvenile. I didn't feel that with Ria. This is a pretty scent. This is giving Victoria's Secret model vibe. Pretty, fun, and gorgeous from within. Yeah, that is the vibe that I'm getting from here. The main notes that I'm getting are sweet, juicy cherries, strawberries, raspberries, and that uplifting blackcurrant that I think made the difference in this fragrance. It also has patchouli that is very likable. It's not green nor earthy. It's a kind of patchouli that is present in a lot of designer perfumes. However, it is not that prominent in here. This is more of really like a fruity, sweet, sugary scent that is uplifting and very likable. The musk that is in here is very clean smelling as well. I really enjoy this scent. As a matter of fact, this was the last perfume that I tested on skin out of this 7 in today's video, and I was shocked how much I love this fragrance. This is definitely in my top 3 Khadlaj new perfume releases. If you are into sweet, sugary, fruity scents, this is a sure win for you. This is a kind of fragrance that will definitely put a smile on your face when you wear it. So yeah, I love that fact. And for sure, the blackcurrant has something to do with that. And the cherry that is in here is not like a syrupy kind of cherry. It's like a sweet, juicy, red cherries with the berries. It's so pretty. Performance is amazing. This one lasted on me around 6 to 8 hours and it stays forever on clothes, guys. I love this fragrance so much. I'm gonna rate it 9 out of 10, and this fragrance is feminine leaning. Once again, Ria. All right, next up is a new release that I was the most excited about because the OG of this is like one of my favorites from Khadlaj. And I'm talking about Nafais Magrib. Now, I thought that this will somehow smell like a flanker of Nafais Shark, which is like a very beautiful, creamy, fruity floral scent that I adore. If you watch my channel, you know that. But Nafais Magrib has nothing to do with Nafais Shark. In my opinion, this is like another fragrance of its own. To me, this is a dark, sweet, tropical, fruity scent that has an underlying ozonic and aldehydic base. I find it extremely unique. I haven't smelled anything like this fragrance. And if you know me, I love unique scents. So Nafais Magrib is big love as well. Now, this fragrance starts off quite citrusy, and then as it dries down, it becomes darker. And I feel like I'm getting plum out of this fragrance mixed with some white florals. And I'm talking about like jasmine. Those notes are not listed, by the way. I'm just letting you guys know what I'm actually smelling out of this fragrance. So it's like citrusy, plummy, white florals. And then the final dry down becomes quite aldehydic and ozonic. Very, very unique. So when it comes to uniqueness, this is a 10 out of 10. And the vibe of the bottle is the vibe of the scent. Definitely dark, fruity, and there's something quite tropical about it as well. So I can imagine like a special dinner at an expensive restaurant in a tropical island with Nafais Magrib. The galbanum in here made such difference because I think it cuts out the fruitiness and the muskiness of this fragrance. I'm telling you, the ozonic and aldehydic base of this fragrance is very unique too, because normally I do get aldehydic and ozonic facets only in the opening, but it is in the base of this fragrance. Performance is amazing on this one. Just like Ria, it lasted on me around 6 to 8 hours and it stays forever on clothes. Objectively, this is a 10 out of 10 because of the uniqueness of the scent and performance. However, subjectively, I think I prefer the OG Nafais Shark. It's just that I prefer like a creamier, fruity, floral version. Nafais Maghrib is a beautiful, dark, sexy, tropical, fruity scent that I think a lot of you women will love, especially if you are into dark, unique scents. And if I have to rate this fragrance, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10, even though it's not my favorite in today's list. Because yeah, that 10 out of 10 is my judgment objectively. Once again, Nafais Magrib, and this is definitely feminine linen. All right, next up is Shiyaaka Snow. I am actually liking this wintry snow white packaging. Now, let's talk about the scent, okay? This is definitely masculine leaning, by the way. Like, okay, it can be unisex, but for example, I won't wear this because this is, yeah, more masculine. And if you know me, I actually love wearing unisex fragrances, but Shiyaaka Snow, in my opinion, is definitely more masculine leaning. And I'm talking about 90% masculine. Now, let me read you the notes of this fragrance. It has mandarin, orange, citrus notes, bergamot, neroli, nutmeg, pink pepper, vetiver, and cardamom. So having said that, it is a fresh, citrusy, musky scent that I think will be perfect for everyday use. This is a kind of like a clean smelling man's scent. Very versatile, fresh, citrusy, musky scent that can be easily worn, in my opinion. And yeah, I love the fact that it is quite powdery as well. There is something about this fragrance that stays powdery close to the skin. I let my husband dry this fragrance, and on him it has like a slightly powdery dry down, which I'm actually liking because it's giving clean, effortless, fresh, sexy scent. And yeah, that's how I'm going to describe Shiyaaka Snow. I think amongst all the masculine leaning fragrances that I have in today's video, this is the easiest to pull off. Yeah, a signature worthy, fresh, citrusy, musky scent. Performance is very good. It has strong projection for the first hour until it becomes moderate. It lasts around 6 to 7 hours. So having said that, performance is quite good, especially for something new. Apparently, this is inspired by Louis Vuitton's Meteor. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't tried Meteor from Louis Vuitton yet. However, I'm just gonna let you guys know that this is not like my favorite scent profile on a man. I'm gonna give this fragrance a 7 out of 10. And I think this is my least favorite in today's list. Once again, Shiyaaka Snow. All right, next up is something that I was so excited to try because I heard a lot of good things about it. This is Onyx, okay? So the bottle is definitely giving alpha male, sexy, and yes, it is actually delivering. Now, let me read you the notes. It has vanilla, lavender, powdery notes, vetiver, and musk. It sounds very simple, But I think when it comes to scent profile, this is my favorite out of the 7 that I'm talking about today. It is a kind of unisex scent that I will use, and I can imagine women rocking this fragrance as well. This is inspired by a very expensive niche fragrance, Clive Christian's Blonde Amber, and I've tried that fragrance. I've smelled it on a man and I really, really love it because I think it's one of the sexiest scents that I have ever smelled on a man. And I would say Onyx is definitely close. It is a beautiful dark vanilla, woody, and musky scent. And what I love the most about it is that it has that powdery factor. As mentioned, I find slightly powdery scents on men actually quite sexy. And I do get that from Onyx. This is a beautiful dark vanilla, lavender, musky scent that I will definitely love to smell on a man and at the same time on myself. It is sexy, dark, and mysterious. Now, scent-wise, it's definitely amazing, but performance-wise, I've used this maybe like 3 times already, and I've asked my husband to use this fragrance twice as well, as I really love the scent. And what I noticed is that it's not lasting very well on me and on him. The reason why I asked him to use it because I wasn't sure if it was just my skin. On me, Onyx lasted only for around 2 to 4 hours. Okay. It stays on clothes. However, I feel like it's not projecting. And my husband's feedback is that it's not projecting on him as well. So that's the only downside that I noticed. However, with my experience with Khadlaj Perfumes, their fragrances last for a very long time. So maybe Onyx needs to sit for a while in order to get its full potential. But yeah, scent-wise, 10 out of 10. Performance as of now is quite lacking. So yeah, having said that, I'm gonna rate it an 8.5 out of 10. Onyx Gold, a unisex fragrance, dark, sexy, vanilla, lavender, and musky scent that has an alluring powdery dry down. All right, next up is Zayaan Gold. I was very excited to try this fragrance as well. Now, let me read you the notes first. It has plum, cinnamon, cardamom, lavender, davana, artemisia, tonka bean, benzoin, and patchouli. I would say that it is a beautiful scent. However, it's kind of like reminding me of a lot of designer perfumes that I cannot pinpoint because I feel like it's a mix of something. But anyway, guys, this is a beautiful scent. I will say scent-wise, I love the scents of these two. And this is a kind of scent that I will wear as well, even though it is like more masculine leaning. So how does it smells like? This is dark, spicy. And when I say spicy, it is because of like cinnamon and cardamom. There is no iris mentioned in the note breakdown. However, I'm getting like some powdery and lipsticky nuance in here that I am loving so much. I think that's the reason why I love this fragrance actually. And then it is perfectly sweetened up by tonka, and for sure it has vanilla as well. It is also quite resinous and aromatic. There's a lot of beautiful nuances in here, but I will say that it is more of like a dark, spicy, aromatic, powdery, and slightly resinous scent. Very, very sexy. One of my favorites in today's video. Performance-wise, it lasts on me for a very long time, definitely more than 8 hours, especially on clothes. And guys, let me just share you like a masterpiece combo that I just discovered. I layered these two together. One of my favorite sexy, dark, femme fatale scent combo that, yeah, I discovered by accident. I couldn't make Onyx last on me for a very long time, so I layered it with Zayaan Gold, and guys, I love the outcome. If you have these two, I highly recommend you to layer them both and thank me later. Now, going back to Zayaan Gold, this is definitely unisex, however, leaning slightly more masculine. I will use this fragrance, even though it is more masculine leaning. And the best way for me to enjoy it is by layering these two. This combo is bomb. Anyway, if I have to rate Zayaan Gold, I'm gonna rate it a 9 out of 10. All right, next up is a fragrance that everyone is talking about, Peach Velvet. Okay, so judging the bottle, it looks like a flanker of cream velvet, which we all know is a very good alternative of Bianco Latte by Giardini di Toscana. Now, Peach Velvet is of course a peach dominant fragrance. However, I find the guava in here quite prominent too, along with the nectarine. So imagine those three fruits, nectarine, guava, peach, drizzled with caramel and vanilla, sprinkled with cinnamon and ginger powder. This is beautiful fragrance. I love the fact that aside from it being fruity and spicy, there is like some whipped cream factor in this fragrance that is not listed in the note breakdown. I think that balanced out the fruitiness of this fragrance. I love it. This is actually inspired by Sarah Baker's Peaches Revenge, which I actually love. I am not a big fan of peaches in fragrances. However, I love Peaches Revenge. So having said that, I love Peach Velvet as well. I love the dry down of this fragrance because, as mentioned, the creamy factor, maybe I think it's a whipped cream, gave this fragrance like balance. So it's not just spicy, zesty, fruity scent. It has a very cozy and cocooning, like whipped cream nuance. I love this fragrance. And when it comes to similarity to Peaches Revenge, I'll say it is very close. I also have the one from Paris Corner called Peach de Lulu, which is inspired also by Peaches Revenge. And I like that fragrance. However, now that I have tried Peach Velvet, I will say Peach Velvet is closer to Peaches Revenge. And yeah, I prefer this over Peach de Lulu. So yeah, having said that, this is really good stuff. And guys, this perfume lasts. It's quite eternal on clothes. On skin, I think it lasted more than 8 hours. I wore this the other day. We were out the entire day and I've only sprayed this fragrance before leaving the house. And I'm telling you, it gave me like a very good scent bubble the entire day. And I'm talking about whole day, okay? From 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. So yeah, performance of Peach Velvet is incredible. 10 out of 10. Scent-wise, it's amazing as well. If I have to rate this fragrance, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Yeah, once again, Peach Velvet, and I find this fragrance more feminine leaning. All right, and last but not the least is my favorite out of all the new Khadlaj releases. And this is Island Dreams. Now, this is apparently inspired by Louis Vuitton's Symphony. I haven't tried that fragrance yet. However, guys, this is so beautiful. I'm sold. It smells like an expensive summer scent. Citrusy, gingery, musky scent. What can I say? It is not like a mind-blowing kind of scent. However, like this is my kind of freshie. Like, for example, everyone is talking about Louis Vuitton's Imagination. Like, it's not my cup of tea. However, okay, I find it nice. But this kind of freshie is my type. It's giving rich and luxury vibes. It is not like a typical citrusy, fresh scent. There's something about it that I cannot explain as well. It's a beautiful blend of bergamot, grapefruit, ginger, musk, and ambroxan. This is a straight up 10 out of 10 because even though it's a freshie, this one lasts. And I'm talking about quite eternal on clothes as well, just like Peach Velvet. And we don't see that often in freshies, especially when it's more of like a citrusy, musky scent. For sure, the ambroxan in here help in making this fragrance last longer. I just love this fragrance so much. I would say the Island line, I think, is very good because I love the OG Island as well, which is inspired by Jean Paul Gaultier Le Bon. Anyway, guys, Island Dreams is my favorite in today's lineup. I'm gonna rate it a 10 out of 10. It's a unisex, citrusy, zesty, musky scent that will be perfect for summer. However, I can imagine using this fragrance as a signature scent. One of my best discoveries from Beauty World, and you will definitely hear me talking about Island Dreams in my channel. I haven't tried Louis Vuitton Symphony yet. However, to be honest, at this point, I don't care because I'm extremely happy with Island Dreams. And for sure, this costs around $30 to $40. And Louis Vuitton is like what? Like $300? So that sums up the 7 new Khadlaj that I received. Let me know what you think of them, especially with Onyx, because I think I heard people are saying that this is very long lasting. I truly believe that it just needs to mature for a while because scent-wise, it is so good. Yeah, however, I will say generally, I am happy with all the new Khadlaj releases. I have tried Nuha Bonbon as well. It's beautiful. It's a fruity scent as well, like same ballpark as Ria. However, I don't have it because they haven't produced it yet. I think it's only coming out soon. Yeah, meaning it's not yet available for now. However, all of these fragrances are available in their website, guys. So if you're interested, just check the description box below because I have a discount code for you. And yeah, next lineup will be Swiss Arabian and Aurora scents. So yeah, that will be the part 3 of this Dubai perfume haul. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, guys, and see you on my next one. Bye!